You think it's bad?
I think I just got a base tan. This is how you're supposed to start every summer off.
It is pretty red.
It's just a base tan.
Look at, how come your underwear comes out like flying out of your pants?
Look, you got a hole in your pants and your butt cheeks are red too. Like,
Your shoulders are supposed to be purple.
it looks like that wall, pretty much.
Yeah, I'm not doing too good.
How do you feel?
Like I've got sun poisoning.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
Well, what can we do to help?
Get out of the room.
Okay.
You're listening to the morning briefing with Friedman.
Hey, good Saturday morning, everybody, and welcome to beautiful Surfside, California, here in Southern California, located between Seal Beach and Huntington Beach. It is a gorgeous morning, and there's quite a few surf fishermen already down here. If you see me glancing off to the side, it's only to check on the surf fishing. Don't you get any bad ideas about what else I might be looking at. You get me in trouble with my wife. Also, we have some tremendous fishing continuing and the potential for even better fishing. We need our oceanography to clean up a little bit. We'll talk about that. Yellowfin, Dorado, a black skipjack in the counts yesterday, another exotic, and also some good fishing on the other side of the border. We still have the possibility of some really good bluefin tuna fishing up in the Channel Islands, rockfish to back it all up, and we're a long ways from over here in 2023. You know what time it is this Saturday morning. It's time for the morning briefing. Good morning, my friends. Delicious. I hope you're having a great morning. Thanks for choosing to take a little bit of time out of your busy weekend and spend it here with us. Happy Labor Day weekend. Man, I can't believe summer is already starting to get in our rear view mirror. When you get old, kids, like me, man, somebody cranks that clock up and it just goes faster and faster and faster. Enjoy every single day because we're truly blessed here with some really magnificent fishing, and just getting out into the outdoors is a blessing in and of itself. Hey, speaking of that, we're going to have a Walk with Phil day at 22nd Street Landing Sunday morning. That's tomorrow morning, September 3rd. I'll be down at the landing and we'll take off for about an hour walk. You can go at your own pace. You can go jog the thing if you want. You can walk really, really fast. You can walk really, really slow. You can do half of what we're going to walk. It's not that far. So tomorrow morning at 9 a.m. we'll take off, and then at 10 we should be back to the landing, and we're going to serve up some coffee for everybody. You want a cup of coffee, want to sit around and BS about fishing for an hour or so. I'm all about that tomorrow. So Walk with Phil tomorrow morning, 22nd Street Landing. Hit the like button, please. It means so much to us. You guys are awesome. I can't thank you enough for your great support as we head toward 11,000 subscribers now, and that happened awfully fast. Share these videos, subscribe to the channel, and also don't forget to tick that little bell. You'll be notified when there is new content. And Instagram, Facebook, and TikTok, we've got a lot of updates throughout the day for you all. Man, did you see how purple my son Philip's skin was down in Ensenada? That was a while ago, but I just came across it. It was pretty funny. I know it's a serious thing. You should use sunscreen at all times. But I mean, he screwed up, and that's a good lesson for everybody. Not to go out for prolonged periods of time and get all toasted like you end up looking like a lobster like Philip. All right, my friends, let's get into it. A lot going on. Let's start out on the other side of the border, down in the beautiful town of Ensenada, Baja, California Norte, where there is still the opportunity for some great kelp patty fishing. Dorado on the kelps down there right now, biting very well if you find that right kelp patty. As always, that is the situation. There's some really small Dorado, but we've seen an influx of bigger Dorado, and I'm talking, 5 to 10 pound fish here recently. So we're starting to see more and more of that. And then we have some of those smaller ones, and then you'll see some fish up over 20 pounds on occasion. Mixed with it, a little bit of yellowtail on the kelps. You can find some kelps that are loaded up with forkies, and for the most part, that's been nice grade yellowtail. I'm talking 12 to 20 pounds, gorgeous fish. And also there's been quite a bit of marlin pushing in. We're in an El Nino, as you well know, and that means warm water, and it means warm water species, and we should see even more of that starting to move up, including yellowfin tuna. While we don't see consistent big bites on the yellowfin, you can certainly jig across or sonar or meter some fish or see them puddling around, and they've been nice fish, 8 to 25 pounds, some even bigger than that. All those fish, and now we're talking San Diego also, are mostly being taken on a fly line bait. A good hot bait is always what you want to use. And in addition to that, fluorocarbon is your best friend. www.optionusa.com makes all the difference in the world. Fish your favorite fluoro, but fish fluoro. And man, I'll tell you, choosing that hot bait, I harp on it all the time. Some of you are like, is this guy talking about that again? How many times does he? We have new people coming to the channel. I just want to emphasize how important it is. Hot bait, change it regularly. You'll get bit on a regular basis. And that is not just tuna, yellowtail, Dorado on the kelps. It's calico bass. It's everything up and down our coast. We jump you across the border into the good old USA, where we continue to see outstanding Dorado fishing for the San Diego fleet, and boys all the way up to San Pedro and even Redondo for that matter, that make a longer run down to the zone. It has been fabulous. It's only going to get better if you ask me. And pretty soon we're going to have some copious amounts of fish in on the beach with 1/2 and 3/4 day boys getting a piece of it. They're getting a piece of it now, but I'm talking about a more consistent bite like we had last year. Now, getting back to what we had last year, that was just mind-boggling. Phenomenal. I don't know that we're headed toward that, but we could very well be. Let me give you a few scores from San Diego down that way. These guys all had Mexican limits. If they had above that, I'll make note of it. And then a little bit of sprinkling of other stuff in there. The Sea Watch, 2 bluefin, along with limits of Dorado. That's Mexican limits, which is 2 flatheads per rod, 10 flatheads per rod. In U.S. waters, the San Diego had a black skipjack. Don't see that every day. 4 yellows, limits of Dorado. The Highliner with a yellowfin, 7 bluefin tuna, and limits of Dorado. A lot of that bluefin that's mixed in with this kelp patty stuff is smaller grade. Some of it like 8 pounds, some of it 20, 30, 40 pounds. So it's kind of mixed up right now. When you choose your tackle, you definitely want to take advantage of that fact. In other words, make sure that you are going in the water with something that you can take on those bigger fish with if you think they're mixed in. If you can't get bit on the heavy tackle, go to the light stuff. It'll make all the difference in the world to you. Voyager limits of Dorado, Condor first day of a 2-day, limits Liberty, limits Mission Bell, limits Point Loma with Scott Buchert on deck, limits of Dorado and a bluefin tuna. The Pegasus 17 guys, 72 Dorado on an overnight trip like we're going to have on the Apollo here Thursday night. That's going to be fun. Guys, if you're getting ready for that trip, make sure, please make sure that you have a variety of tackle. At this point in time, I don't think you need anything heavier than 60 to 80, and probably you're not going to use that. That 25 to 40 is what you want to have for sure. I'll have some Option fluorocarbon if you need some. The crew's going to rig you up on the Apollo that night. They'll tie you up, so don't worry about that. I've got you covered there. But once again, I don't think. Now, things change. Guys are sending me messages saying, what do I go buy today? Just hang on. I hate to make you wait till the last minute, but sometimes things change overnight. And even if we wait till 2 days before the trip and I tell you what to go buy, you may have to make another run to the tackle store. Just stay in touch with us here on the morning briefing, and we'll keep you in touch. LA Orange County based boats, as I said, are getting a piece of this kind of stuff. Also, the Fury out of Dana Wharf Sport Fishing. What a great 2-day trip. They just had a $125 on the flatheads. Nice Dorado fishing, 4 yellowtail and a yellowfin tuna to go along with it. The Blackfish Yacht out of Davies Locker, fish calico bass, limited out on the calico bass, and then had a bluefin and a yellowfin to go along with it. These boys up here in the LA Orange County area are seeing copious amounts of bluefin, of yellowfin, of flatheads. The bite has not kicked into gear yet. It might be oceanography. Western Pride yesterday rolled up on these foamers of bluefin and saw all kinds of other stuff, but they just didn't want to bite. And of course, those guys back there catches up with rockfish, so you're still going to go home with some good eating fish. But the water, and I mentioned this, we need our oceanography to straighten out a little bit. The water is off color. It's warm, but it's just kind of chocolatey looking. It's ugly. And that's got to have something to do with it. And of course, that gnarly blue moon. That full moon really screwed these bluefin up. So we'll keep our eyes on it for you very, very closely. Speaking of bluefin out there on Tanner Bank, looks like a lot of that fish has moved off the bank. There's still bluefin there, but it's not biting that well. It's not biting anywhere at all that well. The nighttime bite has been slow, and the daytime bite has not been anything close to spectacular. Some of that fish has moved off into other areas down to the east, and then a lot of that fish is on our beaches right now. But in that water that we're looking at, it's not going to bite, I don't think. Wouldn't surprise me, however, in this 2023. It could get really, really crazy. We'll keep our eyes on it. There is still outstanding big yellowtail out there on the Cortez Bank. So if you end up venturing out that way, or you just say, hey, I'd prefer going and catching Guadalupe Island-sized forkies, let's go do that. You have that as an advantage and an option available to you. Aztec 2-day trip, 108 yellowtail, 37 Dorado. We'll see if this bluefin bite's going to get going here in the next couple of days. I'm hoping it will. I think I can say with a great deal of confidence that it will get on the bite, but when that happens is when this oceanography, again, cleans up a little bit more. Hopefully, we'll see our local guys here in the LA Orange County area start hammer away more consistently at the Dorado. I know they're seeing them. Andy on the Enterprise has been seeing them. The Victory, they've been seeing them. All these local boats out of Long Beach, San Pedro, Newport Beach, up to Redondo have been seeing fish. We'll keep our eyes on that for you very, very closely. Eric Estrada. Hey, Eric, good morning, and good morning to your daughter. Hey, I just saw that he posted, he said, I went offshore fishing with my daughter. So, of course, I'm looking at the photos, and what I don't see? I don't see any fish. What do I see? These smiles that are so brilliant that they burned into my soul just about. Just seeing this father and daughter have a great time. I don't know if they caught fish or not. They didn't post any photos. I imagine they would have if they had. But man, the guy is so on the right track. It's not about the catching. It's about the experience, especially when you're talking about your kids or your grandkids and showing them this beautiful Eastern Pacific, the great outdoors. There's nothing like it. And seeing those smiles, man, Eric, nice going. That's all I can say. By the way, last night I was at 22nd Street Landing doing some work, and several of you popped into the studio there. Thank you so much coming by and saying you're big fans. That means so much to me. I really, really appreciate you. But the Tatty Lures gang is on board the Amigo for a 2-day trip. They're just getting started right now this morning. Jason pokes his head in and says, I want to introduce myself. I'm a big fan. Goes on and on and on. Meant a lot to me. I really appreciate it. He sat down, chatted with me for 15 minutes, and then he knows I'm on this carnivore diet thing. He takes off, and back he comes. He ran down to the barbecue place, came in, and treated me to some great barbecued beef and chicken. And man, how can I thank him and all of you enough for making Friedman Adventures so strong and being so considerate and kind. And thinking about that just a little bit more, Dave Schaaf from Schaaf Air made a generous donation to our Mexico funds, where we've collected a lot of stuff. We're going back at Christmas down into Mexico. We're going to distribute clothing and so much more. We have some dental equipment, some medical equipment. We have so much, and it is so costly to get it across the border. Another gentleman, I'm going to dig his name up for a future morning briefing, sent in $150 for $100 in raffle tickets. And I said, hey, you screwed up here, man. You sent an extra 50. He goes, no, I didn't screw up. I just love what you're doing and wanted to help. So great stuff, really looking good right now. And surrounded ourselves with such great people. I'm so proud and happy about that. All right, let's talk islands, and we'll get you down to Todos Santos in Ensenada. A little bit of barracuda out there, an occasional yellowtail, rockfish, calico bass. Coronado Islands, that water's still kind of mucked up, so we're just picking at a few yellows there. Some calico bass at times, and also, you know, you have a chance at plenty of rockfish, sculpin, whitefish, that kind of a thing. San Clemente Island, picking at the yellows, nothing great. Some days it's a little bit better, like 10 or 15 yellows. Most of the time it's below that. Good calico fishing out there. And then Catalina, same kind of a thing. Pretty slow at occasional yellowtail. Get a look at them, get a shot at them. It seems like don't get any big numbers. Calico bass fishing has been okay, backing it up with whitefish and rockfish, that kind of stuff. And up there in the Channel Islands, we continue to see copious amounts of bluefin tuna. The Aloha Spirit has been on it. He says bring your 60 to 80 pound outfit and bring your favorite popper or a Daiwa Sakana, something like that. We're seeing it. They pick a fish or two almost every single day, but they are getting good signal up there in that neck of the woods. Hopefully it's going to settle in and bite here very, very soon. And then elsewhere up there in the Channel Islands, we continue to catch really excellent rockfish scores. We've seen nothing short of spectacular rockfish up there. Even up in Santa Barbara, California, there is some excellent fishing going on up in that neck of the woods also. So continued great fishing up there in the Channel Islands for rockfish. Potential for some really excellent fishing on the bluefin tuna. Hopefully that is going to get going here very, very soon. On the coast, some really great calico bass fishing returning to several areas down there in San Diego. The premier was all over the calico bass. Great calico fishing. Drop that fluorocarbon down to 12 and 15. You'll be bit all day long, especially if you take the time to choose a really good hot bait. The Redondo Special jumping out to the Santa Monica Bay. Great calico bass fishing for them yesterday. Outstanding. Bring your light stuff. Choose a hot bait, and those guys can always junk you out too. Lots of rockfish in both those zones. And in between there, we see some decent calico fishing going on. Oceanside, Dana Wharf. Up here in the Long Beach, San Pedro area, it's been pretty slow. And we're dealing with this mucked up water for the most part. We need it to clean up. Come on. Clean that water up for us this Labor Day weekend. And I think that bass fight's going to return with a vengeance. It should get going again. Also, other boats up there in the Channel Island area, I forgot to mention, Mirage with limits of rockfish, Coral Sea, Stardust, Santa Barbara with good rock fishing. Up there on the Island Spirit, Cody Rogers, great guy, love fishing out of Ventura Harbor, sport fishing, 805-676-3474. Say hi to the guys up there for me. Cody said, you know, we had all kinds of weird currents going on. Probably still that gnarly big blue moon, once in a blue moon, affecting that area. But he said, while we didn't get much of a surface fight, we caught whitefish and rockfish, did pretty darn well on that. So that is great news also. And once again, we mentioned the Western Pride, seeing all those bluefin tuna. Hopefully that's going to settle in and bite. They backed it up with some rockfish up there in that neck of the woods. Surf fishing wise, we continue to see some better fishing starting to take place. I think tonight is the last night of the Grunion Run. I should know that. I think it is. Tonight's the last night. And so with all that fish, that grunion moving up on the beach, we hope to see more and more predators follow it in. Halibut, all kinds of rays and sharks, but also yellowfin croaker feed on the grunion, even bar perch feed on them. So hopefully that's going to continue down around Oceanside. We see some pretty good spot fin croaker fishing. That continues pretty darn well. And then we also have been seeing some decent yellowfin croaker fishing in several different areas. Buenos días. ¿Cómo estás? Suerte con la pesca hoy. Okay. Un señor, I'm hablando español now. There's a gentleman passing by here, and I'm wishing him the best of luck. Hope he catches him. He looks well prepared, man. He's got a couple of rods with him ready to rock and roll. So right on cue, the surf fisherman walks by. You can't see him, but I swear to you, he's walking by right now. Big fish bait and tackle on the corner of Seal Beach Boulevard and Pacific Coast Highway. Your surf fishing headquarters, they're open right now. They open up early. They've got all your baits for you, and they've got all the gear and tackle you'll need from surf fishing right on up to the big bluefin tuna. Keep that in mind. That'll make a huge difference to your success. So a lot of great stuff going on. At the end of today's show, we got a little thing. I ran it the other day, but in case you want to see what we're doing and who's helping with Mexico, man, it means so much to us. You guys are awesome. You guys are reaching your hands across the border to help others, the people you don't even know, and you're so generous. I can't thank you enough. All right, one more thing, everybody. Walk with Phil tomorrow morning down there, 22nd Street Landing, 9 a.m. Independence 5-day trip coming up October 20th. Go to independencesportfishing.com or call the number you see right there. I'll be there. I know there's a negative side to every single trip, but I'll be there to shoot a video of you catching a lot of fish. That's my goal on that trip. That should be a lot of fun. I'll see you guys tomorrow morning. Have a wonderful Labor Day weekend. Enjoy it with family and friends. Take a page out of Eric Estrada's book and get outdoors with your kids, whether you catch or not. There'll be memorable times that you'll cherish for a lifetime. Have a great day. Have a wonderful Saturday. Have a great Labor Day weekend, and I hope to see you all really, really soon. So great. Thank you. Hey, we here at Friedman Adventures are already getting ready to head to Mexico again and distribute some items to the poor down there who really need our help. It all starts with great families like this donating items, and then our dedicated volunteers take the items to Gallagher Staging, where we warehouse everything. Of course, we've got to go through the clothing and separate it into men, women's, and children's, shoes, and other categories, and make sure that it's really quality items that we are sending down there. Can't wait to head to Mexico again and distribute these items to some people who really need a hand up. It is the Friedman Adventures family. That's each and every one of you coming together to help our brothers and sisters across the border. I could not be more proud of you. Thanks for all you do.